BCBA, and today I'm here to help you out. But first, I need you to also subscribe, like, comment on my video. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, so that way I can make more content for what you guys need. Alrighty guys, today we are going to be talking about how to study for that BCBA exam. Those first initial steps. How do you start? Where do you start? So let me paint a picture here. So you're sitting down, you open up your Cooper and you look at it and you're just like, I don't know what to do. You close it, you cry a little bit. You open it back up again an hour later after you've watched some TikToks and some YouTube. Open it up, you start reading the very first line, very first chapter, and after your brain's fried 2 minutes later, you close it and you're overwhelmed. You don't know what to do. I'm here to help you. So when I started studying, I gave myself plenty of time to study. About 2.5 months is what I use, and I really worked hard at this. So when I would go to study, I would have a routine. So my child would go to bed, or my husband would be so kind to give me like the afternoon to study. And I would have that quiet time. So for me, my own space was down in my basement. I had my desk and like a little office down there. So I would go downstairs, I would, grab my warm cardigan, a fuzzy blanket, bring snacks, bring a drink, light a candle, just kind of setting that atmosphere up, the environment for studying, just getting myself ready, having my materials out that I need, and, grabbing my notebooks. Maybe I'll put on some music, getting comfortable, ready, getting in that mindset. So another helpful thing that you could do is a study group if you're having trouble initiating your studying or holding yourself accountable or creating those habits. I know a lot of people will post on the Study ABA Facebook group and will kind of ask, in this time zone, who wants to study at 7:30 every Friday night, or, whatever it may be. And you can always reach out in the group yourself if you have like a very particular schedule you'd like to stick to. I found that having a study partner is amazing. I had a study partner in person that I would go and meet up with, and we would study together. I found that awesome. It just kept you honest and on track, and it kind of made it fun and gave you some socialization, so you're not just like trapped in the books studying for months on end. Another thing to consider before you start is if you're kind of like a rewards-based person, you need something to look forward to, go ahead and ABA yourself, make yourself a little sticker chart if you want to. Give yourself 5 stars for studying 5 nights of the week, and at the end of the week you get whatever you can determine. It could be something small, it could be something big, depending on your budget and what you need. Some people, that works really well. For me personally, it's not. Me monitoring my behavior and myself didn't work for me. I would just kind of forget about it and I didn't find it motivating, but I do know a lot of people that love it. Okay, so now that you've got your routine, you've got your reinforcement systems in place, you are ready, it's quiet, or you got some music on, you're ready. So where the heck do you start? So on the task list, I found that there's 2 important things on every task this term: define and or give examples. So define is fluency and memorization. So if you see define, that means they want you to be able to just spit out what that means in like a sentence. Giving examples is going to be more where they want you to be able to take that term and the concepts around that term, and can you pick that term out in a story problem or real life situation. Okay, so if you bought one of those fancy like study prep resources I talked about in my other videos, you're going to want to start those right away and utilize those, but also use the fluency memorization, study tools, writing, flashcards, all that fun stuff while you're doing that, because you've still got to learn it. It can give you all the information, but if you're not retaining it and truly learning it, you're just wasting your time. So when you start studying, what you're going to want to do is start with the fluencies, because if you can't tell me what that term means, then you can't put it in story problem, pick it out, and identify why the other options aren't it. So start with that fluency. We're going to start with that memorization. And again, this is going to have to be where you know who you are and how you learn. Our flashcard's going to be it, or, reading Cooper, is that going to be your jam? Kind of figuring out, maybe writing everything out multiple times is how you learn. Some people learn through watching videos, so kind of figuring out and trying out what feels comfortable, what's helping you remember things is going to be your start. And my big key with the fluency is remember you don't have to memorize every definition. So don't try to memorize the definition of reinforcement. You know what reinforcement is. Just pick out some keywords for reinforcement, or, let's say stimulus control. Pick out some keywords on how that makes it stimulus control, how it makes it different from the other options. Like this keyword cannot work for that other definition, or that one only goes to this. And this can be really helpful for when you're starting to apply these words and these terms and these concepts into those story problem questions and those mock exams you're going to practice. Okay, so once you feel like you've started to get comfortable, you got your routine down, now it's time to give yourself a little bit of ABAing. So we in ABA know that we need a baseline in order to start a treatment. So we need a baseline to figure out where we are at. So what do we know? What do we don't know? Maybe we kind of done a general review. We have some fluency going. We feel good. We feel confident. We're coming, downstairs every night to study. Let's get that baseline in there. See what sections are, your weak points or your strengths. Figure out, I've never even heard of that term before in that mock exam. Getting a taste for that and kind of seeing where you are at is going to be your next step. So start practicing that fluency, just jump right into it. Go ahead and do that baseline, do that mock, figure out where you're at. I recommend writing it all out, putting your percentages, your scores, taking that data on yourself and seeing, okay, I scored 50%. I've got some, room improvement. I see these areas are my weak spots. Let's work on those. Okay, so you're working on your fluency, you took your baseline, you're feeling comfortable. Go ahead and now start thinking about the BCBA exam and how the questions are kind of allocated to task list categories. So there's multiple different BCBA exams. So, there's probably like a pool of maybe 4 or 5 different exams. Not everybody's taking the exact same exam. So there's different mixes. You don't know what you're going to get. Some are going to be more heavy in other areas, but in general, the task list is going to be a really good indicator of how heavy certain sections are going to be on the exam, right? So you're going to take a look and see, okay, this section has more questions, and this is also the section that I struggle with that has all of these extra questions. Let's focus on that one. So let me give you an example. Okay, so I'm going to put a little snippet in here of kind of a breakdown of how the questions are according to this resource. This doesn't mean it's accurate or it's, even on target here, but let's go ahead and say it is, just purpose of this example. So in this example, we have concepts and principles is going to make up a majority of the questions along with the behavior change procedures. So those 2 categories, according to this resource, have 67 questions, which is quite a bit of the exam. So let's focus those categories and let's focus on the things that you don't know in those categories. So if you're going through that task and you see like, okay, I've got that one. I know what that one is. That one's easy. Don't mess with those. Move on. Focus on the ones that you're struggling with because you're just going to overwhelm yourself, and waste time. So go ahead and focus on those larger categories, the things you don't know. Continue taking those mock exams. You got to take that data on yourself and see like, okay, and the way I'm studying, is this working? Am I learning? Am I improving in these mocks as I learn this fluency? Because if you're not, you've got to change up how you're doing things. Just powering through because this is how you've always studied isn't going to work for you, apparently, according to your data. And BCBA, we love data. Okay, so another way we can kind of ABA ourselves to help ourselves study here is to create our own mastery criteria. So if you had a good supervision program, you're gonna know what I'm talking about here. You're gonna create kind of your own goals. So let's say you're learning the fluencies and you are trying to get through your stack of cards. Maybe you have 60 cards you wanna get through in 1 minute. So you want to do that for 3 consecutive days. As long as you're able to do that, you'll master that little stack and you'll move on and you'll look back at it about once every week or so. Or maybe just a term. So you're struggling to memorize this definition. Go ahead and set yourself, okay, if I memorize that definition for 3 consecutive sessions or, study sessions or days, however you want to do it, I ain't got to look at it again. And you'll come back to it later when you're looking at it in your questions on your exam. I could literally talk all day about different ideas I have for you guys. Also, like if you're a visual learner, I love being able to check things off and, put it away and say like, I did that, I've got that one. So I would literally make a list of the task list, or I'd just print it off and mark it off like, yep, got that memorized, so you can see your progress and see that you're learning, because it's so overwhelming. You need that motivation, that clear visual, whether that's a percent on that mock exam that you keep redoing over and over, or maybe it's just checking off things on that list that motivate you, keep you going, saying, yep, this is working. I'm gonna kill that exam when I get to it. So think about you, think about what you need when you're starting the studying process. Don't just dive headfirst in it, hate your life, and be doing things that aren't working for you. We want you to pass. We need you in this field, and we want people who know what they're doing, who's got all of it in the bag, and that's gonna be you all day. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. I really enjoy making this helpful content for you guys, because the exam's hard, it's overwhelming, and I just want you to feel more confident and ready and feeling like you are gonna destroy this exam. So let me know if there's any way I can help you guys out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day. You got this.